Hello and welcome to my craft corner where dreams go to die. What's the matter? I'm cleaning, I'm doing a video, so stop looking at me, it's embarrassing. Hello beauties and welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, I am Mariah, also known as Live Life Beauty, and this is my craft corner where dreams go to die. Instead of sparking creativity, it sparks dread, chaos and procrastination. So come with me and let's clean and organize this craft corner. So if you are new here, then my craft corner is basically an area in my living room where I have a desk and some drawers and my printer, which should not house this many things on top of it. This is basically my creative space, and instead of sparking creativity, it just sparks chaos and dread. I just think about how much I have to clean before I actually get started on a project, which should not be the case. I've got bags and bags of projects waiting to be done, and I just don't have the energy to start any of them because I just move one mess to another mess. So this is basically my main area, and then I do have this shelving area in my living room, what houses my other crafty stuff. So I have all my sewing patterns in here, and I have my heat press in there with some of my Cricut mats, and then this is a bag of scraps, and then that is an empty box that I was supposed to post something in and I never did in the end. So yeah. So in today's video, I'm going to get as much of this properly organized and deep cleaned as much as I can, and I'm going to take you along with me. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything into piles on the floor here. So I'm going to start making piles of my computer stuff, my sewing stuff and my Cricut stuff. So here is a bag of material. So my bags of material are sorted out into bags of projects that need tweaking and bags of projects that have the materials and the patterns in them that need like the full sewing 100. I have all these patterns that I have just took out of the pattern sleeves or envelopes and then just left. I need to go through every single pattern, find the matching patterns and put them back in the pattern sleeves, because I don't know what I was thinking, why I even ever thought that that was a good idea to do, especially with a 2-year-old who would rip that to shreds if he ever got a hold of it. I was fixing these for my daughter, and yes, I have completed them, so they can actually go away now. They don't have to stay in the sewing corner. Then I just have little scraps of fabric like these, which would usually go in my scrap box or scrap thing. But guys, I'm not like a patchwork girly, so I don't know if it's worth saving these scraps or not. I think in the long run it will be, because as I go into sewing, I'll obviously get better and remember the things that I want to make. Why is this there? This is literally just my normal top. So as I progress on my sewing journey, obviously I'll have more ideas of what I can actually make out of scraps and things that look good. But so far I just see people making like patchwork things, and I'm not really a patchwork girly, so I am a bit on the fence about whether to save scraps, if it's worth it for me or not. But I'm sure that in the future I'll find other things to make out of them where it won't look so patchworky and alternative. I'll call it alternative fashion, because to me it's kind of like alternative fashion, and this is what I mean. And then again, this was a project, but now I've changed my mind with what I want to make with this project, and I have saved some of these bags, so I think I might match up things and put them in the bags of like ready to go or next in line projects. So let's put you in one, but I don't think that this is going to be a next in line one, because I think I just want to change basically everything that I said I was going to do with that. So I'm just going to crack on. So I'm just going to put you on a little time lapse of me sorting through everything, and then I will come back to you when I have something to share. first of it all, my actual desk, and this is where we have to actually start sorting it out properly. Basically, with this area, I need all of this space, so anything from here to here needs to be clear, because when I'm sewing I need the space. And we have some of my Cricut stuff in this corner, but with this desk, this side of the desk is a lot narrower than this. Woo! They're already falling apart. But yeah, I just don't have the space. If that was probably the same width as this, I would probably be good, but it's not, and I don't want to dwell on it. I just want to sort it out. Everything needs a home. I think because I have the two projects, it's obviously just an accumulation of so many things, because you don't just have all sewing stuff, you then have all Cricut stuff and paper crafts and glues and paints and just absolutely everything that you could need to make these projects. And whilst that is great, it just accumulates a lot of stuff. And bearing in mind, guys, I have the bare minimum of like the essentials, I suppose you'd call them, but I just need to get it under control. I need a better system of just like organization stuff, because we're near a window, and a very large window at that. I can't put stuff on the wall, and the walls next to it house, you know, this is still my living room, so I do want it to still look like a place of calm and relaxation at the end of the night, and you know, not have my projects take over too much of my house. Even though once we are in the daytime and kids are at school, babies being dealt with, you know, I very much take over the living room. So I'm just taking everything off the desk so we can have a fresh start. I know most people would be like, pack away the sewing machine and just take it out when you're using it, but guys, I'm just not that person. I've tried so many times to like be that person who can just pack it away, put it to a different place and take it out when I need it. I'm just not that person. If I have to do that every single time I start a project, there's no project being started, like 100% guaranteed. So I very much need my things to be out. The only thing that is packed away at the moment is my Cricut, and my Cricut lives underneath the desk. So with these, I am undecided whether to keep them or throw them away, but I think I should keep them because this is what I do with my Cricut. welcome to the chaos. So this is where we actually sort things out now. We have a load of visitors, i.e. my children, who just don't want to leave me alone. So they are in the background. But I'm going to start actually sorting things out now. So everything's in kind of piles. And we just want to streamline it so that it can actually fit. So this bag I'm going to leave with projects that are partially done or I don't really know what to do with. So then this bag next to me, which I will put you in view of soon, is going to be the bag of projects. Oh no, so this is the bag of projects that needs. Okay, so we're going to switch it over. So this red bag is going to be the bag of clothing projects that need to be transformed. So I'm going to put them all in here. So these are all clothes that just need little tweaks in order for them to be complete. So look out for that video soon because the bag is overflowing and they need to be out of there and in my closet where they are being worn because I currently hate all of my clothes that I own. And then this bag is fabrics that need to be transformed soon. So I have a lot of fabrics that needs to be made into actual garments. And I know what I want to make out of this stripy one. So that's going to be first up on the roster. And then we have this, which I wanted to turn it into a big skirt like my black one. But then I changed my mind and I think I want to make it into a dress. You know that gathered skirt dress? Basically the viral dress, guys. I just think everything's like the viral. As you can see, that is bursting at the seams. It doesn't even fit in the bag and we still have projects like these to put in there. So this also needs turning into an outfit. I thought I had enough of that material to make a two-piece set, but I don't. So I wanted to make a trouser and a top set and it's not going to happen. So we're going to leave that at that. I'm going to put this in the bag of clothes to transform because it's just a bag that I put a motif on and I just need to stitch it on and then the bag is done. So actually I might put that in this box. Then here we have a bag of scraps. I don't really know where this is going to go, if it's worth even having a bag of scraps. Did I just cut myself? I don't know. I think I stabbed myself and I'm actually bleeding. Yeah. So on my table, I had this box of stuff. I had a celebration tin, definitely in my grandma era, but I think it's just too big. I think I'm going to take all of these out and I'm going to use this glass jar as the scissor jar. So I'm going to put my sewing scissors and my crafting scissors into this jar because I am always looking for the scissors and can never seem to find them. So I know that when I want to cut paper I can use these, and when I want to cut my material I can use these, and only I am allowed to use these scissors. I've made it very clear to my children. Even though they do not listen. I have my rotary cutter but it can't fit in here, so I'm going to leave it out. I also have my Cricut weeder, which should go into my actual Cricut, but I'm going to put that in there for now. And then I have some chopsticks, which when I was making dolls I used to push the stuffing in, and I am going to put that in there. And then I'm going to put my I also have these needles, which I'm going to put in there so I don't lose them. Doll baking needles. And I have my crafting scissors that can go in the box. Then I have some air erase pens, and I do actually have a little box here of stuff. So my pens do actually go in this box, even though they don't fit wonderfully. And I found another pair of scissors, which I will put in there. And then I have just some clips. These clips are not the best. I got these with my sewing machine and I thought that they would be great. And then I went on Amazon and got some other ones which are smaller, but they actually work a lot better because they are more squeezable. These, you really have to put some force in to squeeze them. And so far I have them in this little tub, but they're outgrowing this too because there's a lot of them and I still need to buy a lot more. And then in here we just have some threads and bobbins, and then in here we have some bigger threads, and then these all clip together. The hoarder in me wants to keep this so badly, but I'm not going to keep it because it just takes up far too much space for now. So, celebration tin, you are going to go. So here we have some of my Cricut stuff, just like scraps of paper that I am just going to add more scraps of paper to and close that up and call it a day. So all of my adhesives, I'm going to take them out and put them in the box, and I'm going to keep that as just Cricut stuff. I also have these which are iron-on, which I cut out and I wanted to keep separate, but just having like 4 tiny pieces of paper in like a massive container, we don't need that, so I'm going to close that up. And then here is where I may put my rulers. I don't know, they are too long to go in there. I just have this box which houses like random stuff. And so far it's been okay, but it's just very flimsy and flops over. So I do need to again find a better way to house my rulers because they're just too long to go in anything. So could I put it in where my pens are? I may put it in where the pens are. Okay, but we're going to start packing everything back now. Oh my goodness, if you can see just how narrow these shelves are, this is a book and the book basically just fits on that shelf. So I think I'm going to put all of my sewing rulers in this section, but I don't like the fact that they drop down. I want them to stand up. Put that right to the corner. Then I have this toolbox and I'm thinking, do I put everything in the toolbox? And I just put all my sewing stuff, like all of these bits and bobs in there. Then in here I basically have like all elastics and zippers. I'm going to separate them, so one bag is elastics, one bag is zippers, and then I'm going to put them in there. So just like that, we now have a nice, clean and tidy space that invites creativity rather than repels it. So do let me know if you have a small space and leave some of your tips and tricks for keeping small spaces clutter free. Project season is officially underway, guys. I have so many projects that need to get done, and we officially have a toddler in nursery, so I officially have 2 days to myself to get things done, and I'm so excited. So with that being said, do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.